Got on the line with me right now Coach Lee Boyd, coach of the Loretto Mustangs. Coach, first, congratulations on a big win Friday night against a new county rivalry with the Summertown Eagles finally getting a football team up and getting on the field. And, hey, man, I just want to first congratulate you on the first win of the season. That makes you 1-0, perfect for the season now. And get your thoughts on this past Friday night's ball game against the Summertown Eagles.
Undefeated. You know, that's the first time since I've been at Loretto that I've been undefeated. I know that me and my wife chuckle about that, but we really have I try to schedule up when I possibly can. I'm not one that likes to schedule down. And we didn't schedule down this year. Summertown, I knew, with the history of Summertown and their athletics, they do a good job up there in everything they do. They're very classy. They work hard. So I knew it was going to be tough. I knew they wasn't going to give us anything. But it was really special for our kids. We're very young, and for us to come in and get a win, our first win of the season at home, 1-0, undefeated. One of my coaches said, "Hey, coach, you're the only undefeated team in the county." I said, "Well, maybe we are, but that's small potatoes right now. That's good. The kids did a great job, and I was very pleased with their effort."
Well, Coach, looking back at Friday night, a couple of strong points that I saw, and you can, go further on this, was you got a very young quarterback behind the center, and to me it looked like he kind of took control of the game while he was out there. It looked like he had a good head on his shoulders, and also on the offensive side of the ball, Coach. Seen some good things out of the Presley kid, and seen Kobe Staggs running very hard, and the offensive line done a great job. I mean, it seemed like we were moving. The inside stack is where the game in the trenches is where the game's won and lost, and it seems like we controlled that.
Well, yeah, he's a very, very intelligent kid, and he has a very bright future. He reads our option pretty well. He's in control. He knows where everybody goes. I'm gonna tell off on him a little bit. He's a perfectionist, and he can't. It drives him crazy if things aren't exactly like they need to be, which is good. That's what I want. He loves to study. He's a student of the game. He's very open, and he is a 10th grader. He does a really good job after the game gets going of progressing and calming down, and the game really slows down for him. And so that's the ideal thing you want in a quarterback. Kobe has done a great job. Kobe had to play guard last year. He had an injury coming real late, and at the time we couldn't transition to the fullback, so he had to go play guard. And he did a great job last year. But Kobe runs really hard. He had I think right at 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kobe will run with his shoulders down and try to get 3 or 4 if there's not 3 or 4 there. So Aaron was a surprise. Barry Hill went down with a pretty severe ankle injury with a really high ankle sprain. Is still giving him problems. So we transitioned Aaron, who was originally our tight end, back to tailback, and he's done a really good job because Aaron he'll make a cut and he gets downhill and he's very physical. So he did a great job. But I thought our offensive line played really well. The 3-3 stack the coach runs, and a lot of defensive run now. I think it ought to be illegal. It's extremely hard to block because they got 6 linebackers and 2 outside linebackers. They have 3 linebackers inside, 3 defensive linemen, and 2 outside linebackers. It's a 3-5-3 is what it looks like, or a 3-4-4. And it's really difficult because they're sending people everywhere, so it's hard for a young offensive line to take the correct steps and trust the steps they're going to do like they're supposed to. And those guys did a really good job the other night.
I thought they done an extremely good job, Coach, and I'm sure you've been bragging on those kids. Coach, one more thing on the offense, then we'll get to the defense. And I know it was the first game, but laid the ball on the ground a few times. Is that something that was just because of maybe a wet field Friday night, or just maybe some inexperience going on?
Well, I think some of it, I'm going to give credit to Summertown's safety, Coach Moak's son, and the other one. They come up and they put their helmet on the ball twice. There was 2 times. I think we had 4 fumbles. 2 times they hit us square on the ball. I mean, just helmet on the ball. Gustavo, he dropped it one time and he got hammered. And then the other time, I think Childers come out on a trap and spun off a pretty good lick, and the boy hit him right on the elbow, and the ball come out. But the ball was a little damp, and we never put the ball on the ground when it was on what we call a mesh or an option read. We don't seem to do that. It's more or less the big hits, and that's use. we try to combat that. They have, they have some consequences when they do drop it, at practice next week, and they own it. They understand it. They know it's not a punishment; it's a consequence because they dropped the ball, and it wasn't the lineman's fault. It wasn't the back's fault. It was their fault. So they take the personal consequences, and it just reminds them to be more secure with the football. But no, I think in any ball game, especially when you're playing as many 10th graders and a couple of 9th graders and some juniors that haven't been on the field, there are some nerves. And when the game progresses and you haven't played a full varsity ball game, you start getting tired and maybe stop doing the little things, and that comes with experience. And so the longer that they get experience and time on the field, the better it will be for them to focus later in the ball game.
Absolutely, Coach. I'll agree with all those statements. And Summertown Eagles defense was laying some hard licks, and I'm sure some of our backs' knees felt that the following day and on into actually yesterday's practice too.
Yeah, Kobe. A lot of people in the scrimmages and jamborees that we played, everybody seems to attack him really low because he's extremely strong in his upper body. I mean, Kobe's extremely strong, and so when he gets an opportunity, if you try to square him up, I mean, he'll bring the contact to you. We've really stressed that in the off season, and so they figured out after the first time coming in that if you try to tackle him high, he'll just run over you, and he'll get 4 or 5 more. So, and that's what I want my fullback. But they've learned to go really low, and I told him just get ready for it. And, maybe I'd love to tell him to make a move, but I ain't gonna tell my fullback that. So.
No, we want him pounding that ball, Coach. Hey, talking about the defense now. Defense didn't look too bad. It was the first game, and we had some, 1 or 2 big runs, I would say, that they had, but it looked like to me it was just good blocking from their offensive line and also some few open receivers on the defense. So what you got to say about the defense this past ball game?
Well, defense I thought was really well. We lined up right, which any high school coach will tell you that's 90% of the battle is getting lined up to all these new sets.
Absolutely.
I every now and then I'll go talk to one of my mentor coaches, and guys that I think a lot of, and they'll all say, Coach, I don't know if we could get lined up to all the stuff they do because there's people that can be in the trips in 2x2, and the next thing they can be in 2 tight ends wishbone. And how do you get kids to understand they can't, they have to do this time and that the next time, and it's really difficult. So, but I thought the boys did really well at lining up, getting in the right position, and I know it seemed like Summertown had an open receiver every time. We were conceding that. Okay, we wanted to allow them to throw the ball to the wide side of the field and make him catch it. And if he caught it, we were going to hammer him. And because we felt more concerned about them running the fly and running the backside trap than we did passing. And inevitably they scored on the fly route or the fly run. So, every now and then as a coach, you have to concede the thing that they maybe don't do as well and stop the thing that they want to do. And it worked out good for us. Had we not fumbled deep in our territory, I believe we might have come out there with a shutout. But it's hard to Coach Moat would get on the wide side of the field and he would get in swings and trips. They would come collision, and they were just curling up behind. But what a lot of people don't understand is our corner cannot jump that because they're running the wheel route with the inside guy. And the one that Eli Ralston picked off, we baited them into throwing the wheel route. And it kind of looked like that we were going to step up and take the curl route, and we backed up real quick, and then he threw it. He didn't see Eli, and Eli picked it to the sideline. That's one of those things that for a bunch of 10th and 11th graders is difficult to tell them not to be so aggressive, especially in the secondary. But I thought our defensive linemen, Kirkland Surratt, Chase Fisher did great. Childress and Daniels, when they spread you out like that, it's a little difficult. But they did pretty well. I thought Coach Dunn's doing a great job with them, and Coach Ritter's doing a great job. So we experienced and with some week better the team than the words today.
Well, Coach, again, got a outside the state ball game coming up. Luckily, we're only 5 minutes away, maybe 10 at the most, to the next ball game. What do you see coming up this Friday night against Rogers High School in Green Hill, Alabama?
Well, they have a very good fullback. Coach Martin does a great job with kids down there, and they're very good at what they do. They have a fullback that he's kind of a different style of kid. He's only 5'2", maybe 5'3", weighs about 240 pounds, and he runs really hard. And they like to give it to him. So if we can tackle him and make them do some things, I think we'll have an opportunity to be real competitive and have a chance to be in a ball game at the end. I love the state, the border battle, as they call it down there, and we kind of call it that up here. I love that. I love the atmosphere. We're going to keep this game on the schedule. We have a schedule now on contract for 6 years, and it's a really great atmosphere. And it's fun. I mean, it really doesn't mean a ton as far as rankings or schedule or anything for us, or Coach Martin and Rogers, but it's a game that needs to be played for memories, and it needs to be played for the competitiveness. And we love to go down there and play in Alabama because they really do play hard football down there. And so we're really looking forward to it.
They absolutely do, Coach. And also, a lot of people don't look at this, but it's always a great gate game, and when I talk about the gate, we're talking about schools, the schools getting a lot of money from all these people that's going to be attending because it is such a close rivalry.
Yeah, we have to, unfortunately, I guess, I don't want to say unfortunately, at the high school level, a lot of the equipment and the things that the team and the boys get is based on their gate performance. And so that does do really well for us, and we've worked out a really good plan for us, for both of us, that's beneficial to both programs, and it just does really well. But I mean, that's you hate to involve money in it, but at the same time, it is a very good money game. It's no different than rivalry game at the college level. It brings in a lot of revenue, and it's good for both communities because they have an opportunity to come together, compete against each other. When it's over, we're neighbors again. Until next year.
I agree with you 100%. Coach, you said a little bit about our defense, giving me a little bit of look about the offense, and we're going to look forward to Friday night.
I am too. It's one of those things where, especially with our young guys, we have to hold them back because they're eager. They're eager. They want to play. They want to play. The more they can play, and we have to slow them down and really stress our fundamentals and it's a great bunch of kids. It's a great community, and we got great support. And I'm just proud to be where I'm at.
Coach, in closing, Coach Lee Boyd here on the other line here on Sports Talk Mania. Coach, in closing, give me your bright spots from this past Friday night and what we can look for bright spots coming up, not only in this Friday night's game against Rogers High, but also the remainder of the season.
I thought we returned a punt for a touchdown. That was a real great accomplishment for us, for young kids. We set the wall up, and Gustavo did a great job of getting down the sideline. I think we had 2 or 3 sacks and an interception, and defensively, we didn't give up any long balls, and really only gave up one run over maybe 5 or 6 yards. No long passes or anything like that. And offensively, I think we controlled the line of scrimmage, we controlled the clock, we controlled the tempo of the game, and that's it. That's important. Our goal for any ball game, and I'm not an Alabama fan, but that don't mean I don't respect an Alabama coach because he's not at the top of his game for being incompetent, and so he makes this statement, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. Coach Saban, he tells his players, and I believe it, every offensive series needs to end in a kick, a punt, a field goal, or an extra point, and that's our goal. And that's our goal for the whole season on offense is to end every series in a kick. And defensively is to fly to the football and swarm and be described as a very punishing defense. And I think we'll achieve those goals.
And, Coach, I'm glad you brought up the punt because even when the punt return for the touchdown happened the other night, one of the first things I said on MustangsTV.com was that the Loretta Mustangs set up one of the prettiest walls I think I've ever seen set up in a high school football game.
Yeah, it was right down that sideline, and Coach Dunn and I discussed it in the off season, and he asked me. He said, "Coach, you think we can set up a wall?" And I set up a wall in middle school, and he laughed, and I said, "I believe I could have set up a wall with preschool kids if you just teach them where to go." And he laughed, and we joke about that, but. Yeah, those guys we work every day on some kick, some aspect of kicking, and so we spent some time on punt return this year for that reason. And our special teams, you know, I think that's where you win and lose, and I think that's where your shortcomings will happen if you don't focus on them. And I'm one to learn from mistakes and different things. And you know, I feel like that maybe last year we didn't stress them enough. And you know, I'm one of those guys that says, okay, let's not talk about the problem, let's fix it, find a solution, and we did. And our conditioning was better, and we changed that, and we changed some things, and it showed. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty well too.
Well, Coach, again, we want to definitely thank you for your time, Coach, and again, congratulations on the first win, first game of the season, and let's continue that winning ways this Friday night against Rogers High School. What do you think?
I think we're going to go be what we are. We're going to fight, and that's what we're known for, and we're going to act right. We're going to play hard, and we're going to let it fall how it falls.
Coach Lee Boyd, coach of the Loretta High School Mustangs. Coach, again, thank you for your time. Thanks for joining us here on Sports Talk Mania, and looking forward to Friday night. Best wishes, good luck to you, and let's bring home another W.
Thanks, Lee.
That's Coach Lee Boyd here on a sports special edition of Sports Talk Mania, and hope you enjoy it. And until next time, Godspeed.